From the campus of Illinois Wesleyan in Bloomington, Illinois, we welcome you inside the Shirk Center for the first of two in the Division III semifinal round. Tonight we have 6-seed Trinity and 2-seed Wisconsin-Oshkosh with a spot in the national championship match on the line. Wednesday's quarterfinal round did not disappoint. Trinity won in 5 sets against 3-seed Colby, while Wisconsin-Oshkosh cruised in 3 to give them their 5th sweep in their previous 6 matches. With Laura Benton, the former star here in town at Illinois State, my name is Adam Young. These two programs here tonight have had a lot of success over the years, but neither, Laura, has won a national title. Tonight is the next step to get that elusive title.
It is, and you have to know that it's on the mind of both of these teams to get to that championship. I think we have a really good matchup tonight.
Reagan Watley, a senior outside hitter for Trinity, has been in this stage before, and she was awfully good in the quarterfinals on Wednesday.
She was 21 hits, hit 303, and also added to that with her 20 digs against Colby. But how did she do it? It was on the outside, and we mentioned it's a little quiet how she got those kills, but it was finesse and then just pure domination down the line.
Meanwhile, for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, an outside hitter for them was really good Wednesday. Samantha Perlberg, the 2-time All-American.
She really was. 23 kills on 41 swings as an outside, hit 463. She added some defense in there as well with 4 digs. She was on the outside everywhere. She came from the back row. She was looking for the line, and she just really took it upon herself, even in the middle, to get a swing for her team.
Perlberg was the regional MVP in the Oshkosh Regional. Wisconsin-Oshkosh seeking their 2nd title match appearance in program history. And right on cue, it is Samantha Perlberg to get things underway for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. And they really dominated in their sweep on Wednesday, winning 3 sets rather comfortably. They have now won 15 consecutive sets, entering the semifinals here tonight. Wisconsin-Oshkosh, the home squad, wearing the home white uniforms, the maroon for Trinity. And the Tigers get a stuff. That is Taylor Starr, block number 109 during her sophomore year.
It's going to be important for Taylor Starr to have action like she just did, protecting the net. University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh has a very fast tempo when they're hitting.
That is Lauren Greer. There's that tempo, and they set the middle for Greer, who had 11 kills and hit 6 1/4 in the quarterfinals on Wednesday.
Some of these hitting percentages that we saw from Oshkosh, obviously they won and they had that sweep, but hitting 625, 463 for Perlberg, their offense was rolling.
297 was the team hitting percentage yesterday for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Overpass swing for Greer. It's saved by Watley near the stand area. In system, outside for Perlberg, who tools the block.
Perlberg, where she does things best, which is on the uncomfortable against a block. There's hitters that sometimes struggle with a double block, but Perlberg just shows that she knows how to use them.
24+ kills in 5 matches this year for Perlberg. Service here for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. She only had 5 of those Wednesday, 7 aces. They come in 32-3, winners of 8 in a row. Tigers have won 20 of their previous 22 after a pretty slow start to the year when they started 6-3 in their first 9 matches this year. Josie Dayer will serve it in the net for Trinity.
Kind of a tough start for the Tigers, who obviously in this environment, knowing what they need to do, serving in the bottom of the net, they have to make Oshkosh try and receive the ball.
This is Perlberg on the service line for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Slide play on the right side, that is Lauren McCarthy, and she goes too deep, so a lot of early airs attacking in from the service line for the Tigers out of San Antonio. Trinity really had to grind to get to the semifinals. That's shanked away by Rodriguez, and then she'll slap it across. Perlberg on the outside to Grace Juergens. And Rodriguez, the libero, sends it in the net.
Grace Juergens on the outside. So you think about Perlberg and that rotation on the outside, then Grace Juergens also being able to hit on the outside. She had 7 kills in that win yesterday.
Good serve by Perlberg, met by Rodriguez. Here's Watley, played by Juergens. Dukavich sets up Greer, who's stuffed away by McCarthy. Juergens denied. Far pin, that is Connolly McWilliams, the junior from Austin.
And something to note about Connolly McWilliams, this is a big match for her because yesterday, as she gets the block with the solo, but yesterday she was actually taken out of the game. The Trinity Tigers made an adjustment with Lily Long, so to see her back in the lineup, the confidence that her coach has in her.
The pinball's around for Trinity. Free ball from Rodriguez to Perlberg. Greer in the middle, denied again. That's McCarthy, the 3rd best blocker at Division III.
You have to know that the Oshkosh Titans have to be aware of Lauren McCarthy. She had 8 blocks yesterday in that 5th set win.
That was block number 149 this year for McCarthy. Juergens goes over the blocker. Cross court, Lily Long. Free ball from Dukavich. Back to Long. Cut shot is dug by the freshman Panasek. Perlberg from the back row.
Perlberg is very effective on the outside in the front row, but oftentimes she's able to get a kill from the back row. Notice Trinity trying to do a double block to try and stop some of her production.
4.4 kills per set for Perlberg, which is 12th in the country at Division III. That swing for Lily Long goes too deep. And it's all Wisconsin-Oshkosh early on here in set 1. Panasek, the freshman libero, with a short serve and an ace. Rodriguez couldn't quite get there. 33rd ace for Panasek during her freshman year. And it forces a timeout from veteran head coach Julie Jenkins. Panasek took over this year for an All-American, Abby Fragine, who graduated. She's had quite the freshman year. She puts Wisconsin-Oshkosh up by a handful in set 1. Great start for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Their head coach in his 8th year is John Ellman. And when they got that sweep yesterday, there was a big sigh of relief right when the match ended for John Ellman. Laura, they've been to the quarterfinals each of the previous 2 years, lost both of them, monkey off their back, and they're playing at a very high level in all phases right now.
Take yesterday and all that momentum, and it's like they just picked up right from where they left yesterday in that match against Calvin.
This is a 4-0 run. Great serving from Panasek, who serves it short again to McCarthy. Long sends it long. Her second attack air. She was asking for a touch, but she won't get it.
We've seen Rodriguez get ace twice, which is pretty significant with this serving that the Titans have been doing. Yesterday, Rodriguez received 36 serves with 0 errors, and she's already been ace twice.
Right back to Long, off the block, kept up by Panasek. Juergens denied. McWilliams blocked her. Juergens again over the block this time to Rodriguez. Backside to McWilliams. Back row tip by Perlberg, met by Lily Long. Watley had a link back for that swing. Good approach for Juergens, who tools the stuff.
Yesterday we talked a lot about Perlberg, but Juergens on the outside, 7 kills this time. Little off of the net, reaching back and being able to use the block of the Tigers.
12-4, Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Panasek still serving. That's an overpass that goes back to her. Animo is dug. Bump set near side to Long. Cross court and out of bounds again. Long having issues trying to keep the ball on the floor.
And that's an adjustment. Her teammates are talking to her about recognizing where she is on the court. Yesterday, when she was swinging, she was really finishing on top of that ball. This time, it looks like her arm has slowed down just a little bit, and therefore it's going out.
We mentioned throughout the quarterfinal yesterday for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, Laura, how poised and confident they looked. And there's been a carryover. They look the same way again today.
Yeah, they really do. And just that energy that they're bringing to the court. What's interesting about the Titans is they are very well offensively spread out. Even though Pearlberg had 23, they were still Juergens with 7, Lauren Greyer with 11, and then Motts with 4 kills, but those hitting percentages. And they didn't have as many opportunities when you look at the Trinity Tigers in that 5-set win over Colby, where there were some hitters with over 44 attempts.
Well, if somebody has some answers, it would be Julie Jenkins, right? She's been at this for 41 years now. First year was 1985, and she is searching for those answers right now. Her team's had to battle some adversity this week. It was match point a couple of times yesterday for Colby in that 5th set. Trinity kind of just found a way to get here, and this has been a slow start here on day 2 for them.
And you mentioned Julie Jenkins, but her team, she obviously has that relationship with Reagan Watley, the senior, to guide these members on the team.
The 5th all-time appearance in the semis for Trinity, and right now they cannot stop Panisek on the service line.
Libero matchup right now, and Julie Jenkins is going to make a switch with another libero. So in volleyball at the college level, you can have 2 liberos. You can switch them out at any point.
That's Lolo Josie who comes in. First action this week for Josie. Outside for Juergens, goes off the top of the block. First touch for Josie. Long keeps this one in. It's an overpass, and she tips it down and in. And that will help the confidence for Lily Long.
I was just going to say a relief there for Long. Just the fact that she's been swinging and coming in at the 2nd set yesterday. It's for her to be able to get that confidence.
Pearlberg, not a great pass. Punched over by Riley Barrowman. Long is dug by Panisek. Tight to the net, though. Rolls over, and the point goes to Trinity.
Back row attack by the setter. Remember that Oshkosh Titans run a 6-2. They're one of the other teams that they run 6-2s.
Pearlberg, better pass here to Dukavich, and Barrowman collects the kill. She really shined defensively in the quarterfinals with a team-high 7 blocks, but she can also be offensive in the middle.
That's where a lot of the focus with Riley Barrowman comes from, is her blocking. But you mentioned it, Adam, the first 3 points of that set yesterday, the first set, had to do with kills.
Rodriguez back in at libero for Trinity. That attack is stuffed in by Long. They're going to her a ton here in set 1.
A lot of that has to do with the passing. So you look at where your outlet is based on how good the serve-receive pass is. And right now for Trinity, they've had to go to their outsides. That's why Watley's taken several swings along with Long.
19 attacks for the Tigers, 10 of them coming from Long. And that sneaks in near line. Maren Motts, the freshman from Heartland in Wisconsin.
Well, let's look at the hitting percentages here for a little bit as we see this kill going right to the corner of the Tiger territory. But the Titans are hitting 150, and they have their opponent, the Trinity, all the way down to negative 158.
Free ball from Watley. Kuhn on the backside, right back to Motts. Dug this time. Tough angle for Long. Played back row by Juergens. Wide open floor in the back left for Barrowman, and she saw it all the way.
Good recognition by Barrowman to see that corner. That is where the setter is supposed to be on defense. And that's, she caught the setter releasing.
Long from the right side, blocked away. Wisconsin-Oshkosh Their first block so far today. Juergens on serve with her team ahead by 11, and she serves it tough to Marissa Drange, who just came in. Pope able to wiggle it through the block. First kill today for Courtney Pope, who had 7 kills in set 1 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, the right side offense was really in system for the Tigers yesterday. Courtney Pope now ended that match yesterday with 14 kills. And we haven't been able to see much production really out of the Tigers yet.
Barrowman blocked. Perlberg out of system, off the top of the block. Dump play, led by Kuhn, one setter to another. Perlberg didn't get much on that one. 4 contacts on Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
That was a smart decision to add some disruption over to the Titans side with a setter dump in the middle of the court.
Kuhn sets up Perlberg, and she goes out of bounds.
Perlberg likes to hit the cross-court shots. So what's interesting is how are the Tigers going to adjust that block, that time moving well enough to the cross-court to allow that ball to go out.
DeRavel on the outside for Watley, dug out by Panasek. Push met by Lanik. Wisconsin-Oshkosh keeps it up, and Perlberg with another attack air.
And Annabelle Lanik really saving the play for the Tigers, diving almost into the bench to save that second contact.
Some rare mistakes for Samantha Perlberg, the junior out of Chippewa Falls in Wisconsin. Kuhn with the dump, it scrapes across the tape. Lanik will slap it over to Juergens. In the middle for Barrowman. Third kill for Riley Barrowman, who only averages 1.4 per set.
In this tournament, though, we've seen her get going with that offense and just how much it helps the Titans be able to keep the Tiger block at bay.
Barrowman with a good serve to Lanik. On the backside for Pope. Punched up by Kuhn. Kuhn will free ball it to Rodriguez. Back to Pope, denied by Perlberg. Barrowman with the back set to Perlberg.
Perlberg has a great start to this first set. She's been able to find a way to get a kill. She had a couple hitting errors just earlier on, but middle of the court, notice how she went to the strong cross court, now moving more to that middle back court. It's gonna be hard to defend her.
That was a confident set for the middle blocker, Barrowman. Watley dug by Barrowman. Mott's rejected. Kuhn sets up Perlberg, who goes off the shoulder of DeRavel.
And that hitting percentage just keeps increasing for the Titans off of Perlberg.
Team high and match high 4th kill for Perlberg. Coming off 23 in the quarterfinals. Barrowman got one hand on it. Long pump set to Perlberg. Dug out by Lanik. Backside to Pope, rejected. Lauren Greer got an arm on it.
Lauren Greer, we heard a lot of her name yesterday, hitting .625, but this time defensively.
Top blocker for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, 122, team high coming in. Second team All-American this year. Wisconsin-Oshkosh really defending at a high level right now. Diving dig for Juergens on the attack from Watley. Perlberg rips home another.
Perlberg has just been unstoppable. We saw the cross-court hits that she had at the first of this set, and now she's going down the line. Think of how frustrating this has to be for the Tigers trying to defend her.
5th kill for Perlberg in set 1. Barrowman zips it by Lanik. Well, it's a good time to serve extra tough. You're up a bunch, might as well. And Barrowman, a little too much zip on that serve. John Ellman has to be overly pleased with his team's effort again today. Backside for Marin Motts, controlled by Rodriguez. Kuhn in the middle for Greer, who tips it to the 10-foot line to Pope. Watley swatted away. Back to Watley, dug by Panasek. Perlberg terminates again.
We've said her name multiple times, and each time she has a new hit that she goes with. This time, she goes right to the center, kind of in between the middle back and that left back, and it's just been really tough for the Tigers to try and defend.
Set point in a dominant set 1 for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Shanked away by Rodriguez. Pope out of system, too long, and Wisconsin-Oshkosh wins by 13 in the opening set. A negative hitting clip for Trinity. Wisconsin-Oshkosh has now won 16 consecutive sets as we go to set 2. Adam Young, Laura Benton back with you here in Bloomington, and right now it is the Samantha Perlberg show. The first team All-American was marvelous in set 1, Laura.
She sure was, and putting on a show on an outside hitter that can hit down the line, cross court, frustrate defenses. And Adam, we were talking in between the break, it's like Oshkosh just left off from yesterday with that same energy, same momentum. It's been really impressive start for the Titans.
Perlberg played a part in 6 of the final 8 points in set 1. During that stretch, she had 4 kills, 2 blocks, 7 kills, a couple of digs for the match so far. She'll talk with John Ellman. I'm not sure what you can say for John Ellman right now. You just pat her on the back and say, good job, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, good job, but you have to anticipate the fact that the Tigers are gonna respond.
Yeah.
They have a 41-year veteran coach that is going to make the adjustments and get her team rallied behind them and make the changes. One of the things that really stands out when looking at statistics is the fact that Wisconsin-Oshkosh was siding out at 61%. The Trinity Tigers 29%. So pretty much Wisconsin-Oshkosh was in charge of the match.
The other outside hitter we profiled during the open, Reagan Watley, does not have a kill yet. 11 attacks, no errors, but unable to get a ball down to the floor. What does she need to do differently here in set 2, Laura?
Some of that's going back to the basics. Find what's going to work for you. You have a tough block up there in front. Keep on swinging.
There's Watley with the first attack during this rally. They go right back to her. And there's the first kill. Reagan Watley, her first kill comes on the first point in set 2.
Keep in mind, yesterday she had 21 kills and hit 309. So the fact that it took to set 2 to be able to get that kill is significant.
She only had 2 kills in set 1 yesterday, so kind of a similar start. But once she got rolling, she really got rolling, and she was a big part of that Tigers win in 5 sets against Colby.
She did.
Both programs looking for their first ever national title. Right now they're just trying to get to the championship match 2 days from now. An off day coming up tomorrow. Pope goes off the block, backed up by Barrowman. Perlberg sneaks it inside the block, off the arm of Pope.
When trying to set up blocking designs against a player like Perlberg, it becomes difficult in what you want to focus on, because she is going to get kills wherever she is. So how are you going to adjust your block? Are you going to block for ball? Are you going to go cross court or line?
DeRavel back to Reagan Watley, who's heating up now as she squeezes that attack through the block for the kill.
Some of that is the passing and allowing Reagan to be able to get that split block. seen in that replay, because the passing has to be good enough that the attention is taken away from the outside.
Watley was part of the team in 2022 for Trinity that lost to Juniata in the championship match. She's been in this national stage 3 times and was in a championship match during her freshman year. Watley tools the block. She's making adjustments, her 3rd kill in set 2.
She has. She's determined that she can go ahead and use the block. Swing high, high hands to get the kill. Notice that the block is set up, but trying late a little, trying to catch up to Watley.
Watley had 5 kills and 11 digs in that championship match during her freshman year. There's Lauren McCarthy, the junior from Corrales, New Mexico, the top blocker for the Tigers.
And that was a monster block. There was 0 time left before that hit the ground with McCarthy.
Trinity, the 4th best blocking team in Division III. We've recorded 4 blocks so far today. Perlberg looking near line, also asking for a touch, and it's not there.
And John Ellman is not going to challenge.
Impressive early response here in set 2 for Trinity. Dayer with the serve. Serves it to Jurgens. Backside to Motz. And Motz is able to parry it. Side out for Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
A lot of the offense has been on the left side of the court with Perlberg, but now being able to utilize the right side pin, pretty much opening up that offense for the Titans.
There's Jacqueline Dukavich, the setter for Wisconsin-Oshkosh in this 6-2. Tough angle for Watley, dug out by Panasek. Back row Jurgens, Lanik gets to it. McWilliams for the right side, sneaks it in back line.
This is good for the Tigers. A lot of attention's on Watley on the left side. So for McWilliams to be able to get set, going across the grain, it's a nice kill.
She's played a whole lot better here today. Struggled yesterday in the quarterfinals. Playing well early on today. Perlberg with a side out for the Titans.
Every time you think the ball is down against Oshkosh Titans, they just find a way to scramble. In that case, Perlberg being able to get that 3rd contact as well.
Perlberg with a really good serve to Rodriguez. Free ball from Dayer. Perlberg dives and gets to it. Kill from the right side for Hannah Moe.
Just everything is in system for University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. This time on the right side, down the line. It seems as if the Titans are really focusing on Rodriguez, the libero for the Trinity Tigers.
Serve receive shanked away by Drange. Another free ball from Josie Dayer. And another kill from Wisconsin-Oshkosh. This time on the outside for Jurgens.
And that's that combination between Perlberg and Jurgens, opposite of each other. So opportunity for Jurgens to be able to get a split block too.
Jurgens from nearby Lockport, Illinois. Playing this week about 100 miles away from home. Side out for the Tigers on the kill for McCarthy.
McCarthy finished yesterday with 13 kills and hit 346. And we say that because those hitting percentages are meaningful in a game like this one where they're being challenged a little bit more and having a hard time to get it.
Panasek couldn't control it. Jurgens got to it. Out of system, back row swing for Perlberg, hard to handle. Dayer with the free ball. Met by Moe. Jurgens on the outside again. And Jurgens gets a touch. The line judge calls a touch. We may get a challenge here from Julie Jenkins.
And actually, McWilliams waved off Julie and said, I touched it, Don't, no, I touched it. But I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh. Okay. Maybe she was waving, saying, no, I didn't touch it, and I read that wrong.
Yeah, that could have been, yeah.
Because right away, Trinity was looking to the bench saying they didn't touch it. So it must have been she was waving off to get Julie's attention.
The up official for this match is Henry Chen, down official Gretchen Galloway. Betsy Smith is our replay official who will take a peek at this. For now, it's called a touch, so there needs to be enough evidence to change the call on the floor.
McWilliams is on the right side with the block. And looking at that replay, it definitely looks more like her hand signals to Julie was, no, I didn't touch it, versus, no, don't call the challenge.
Right. And a lot of times, the head coaches, Laura, they will really rely on the players whether or not they're going to challenge. Now, that could be a little dicey at times if you're relying on the players to tell you whether or not they touched it.
Yeah, for touches, it's safe to really listen to your team. What sometimes can be difficult is, and you know which players on your team to listen to, but the hitters, when they think they had a serve in or they had a hit in, and oftentimes you just have to understand, is that player's view realistic with those?
We had a match last night, East Texas Baptist, when they ran out of challenges really early, and it became a problem down the stretch when they could not challenge in the final couple of sets. You get 2 challenges to start with. If you win the challenge, you get to keep it. If you lose the challenge, you lose it. And you get an additional if you go to the 5th set, but you can only have 2 total challenges in the 5th. So if you have 2 going into the 5th, you do not get the additional. And the word is in from our replay official, Betsy Smith, it appears. She'll relay it to down official Gretchen Galloway, who will give us the final verdict. Point, Wisconsin-Oshkosh, probably just not enough evidence to change the call. There needs to be enough to change the call.
And that really is key with the challenge, is it has to be enough, and that can be hard to pick up with touches.
Julie Jenkins loses the challenge. 3 aces for Panasek. Season high for her is 4. She's approaching that number. 7 apiece in set 2. Juergens is dug by Drange for Trinity. Hannah Moe on the right side, and Moe is blocked away by the Tigers.
And Marissa Drange, part of that block, coming into this lineup yesterday, not seeing much playing time.
Kendall DeRavel had a double-double in the quarterfinals, serves it to Perlberg. Barrowman, her first swing in set 2 after a really good set 1. High free ball from DeRavel. Panasek to Kavich. Backside for Moe. Controlled dig for DeRavel. Pope out of system. Handled by Perlberg. And Juergens goes deep. Attack air for her.
You're starting to see the Trinity Tigers making adjustments with their defense. We're not seeing Oshkosh, Wisconsin being able to have that fluid attack all the time now.
Service ace. DeRavel with her 30th this year.
That was right to the end. A nice drop with an ace.
Great serve again by DeRavel. Tough handle for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Pope pushes it over the block. Panasek gets there. Juergens denied. Perlberg, great hustle. Another stuff for the Tigers.
And things are getting easier for the Tigers when their defense is working, and that's what we've seen these last 2 plays, with this aggressive serving and then being able to get the ball in.
Well, Trinity and head coach Julie Jenkins in her 41st season, no stranger to the semifinal round. This is their 5th all-time appearance in the semifinals, the first since 2022, when they finished as the national runner-up. Still looking for their first national title, and they're seeking their 3rd title match appearance. They struggled in set one. They've been much better in set two. Right now they're on a 4-0 run. Free ball from Juergens. DeRavel, backside for Pope, who goes cross court and down.
The Tigers have a lot of success with Pope on the right side, and she adds another dynamic to that offense and takes a lot of weight off of the left side.
Juergens out of system. Dug out by Watley. Drange out of the reach of Perlberg. 6-0 run for Trinity.
And DeRavel was really good at speeding up that set with the tempo. Notice how quick it comes out of her hands to the outside. It creates that split for Barrowman for the Titans. They're excited.
A lot more confidence on that bench here in set two for Trinity, forcing John Ellman to use both timeouts really early in this set. We knew Julie Jenkins was going to make some adjustments. Reagan Watley would adjust, and they've adjusted quickly from set one to set two.
They have, and I don't know if you remember yesterday, Adam, and we had an opportunity to talk to Julie during a timeout, and we happened to overhear, and she's like, we're going to make adjustments, and we are going to do this. And that's exactly how she motivates her team, and it was almost up here like, yes, we are, Julie, we are going to make adjustments.
Ready to run through a wall, right?
Yeah, and I can't imagine how her players feel being coached under her, and she has done such an amazing job. But yes, she has added a lot of pressure. She's made some changes in the lineup. We noticed that Lily Long has now, she is on the bench. Mick Williams is getting some more production, so she's made small adjustments in these 13 points.
Remember, it's been a while since Wisconsin-Oshkosh has dropped a set. Last set loss, November 15th against rival Wisconsin-Eau Claire. It's been quite some time. 24 of their 32 wins have come in 3 sets. The set one win was number 16 in a row for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, in danger of snapping that streak here. Back row, Watley. Perlberg digs along the back line. Juergens avoids the official's chair, and Wisconsin-Oshkosh finally gets back on track, snapping that 6-0 run.
That was a really tough shot for Grace Juergens on the outside. The set was way past the pin, having to adjust. It was a nice kill.
Range on serve receive. Pushed by Pope, blocked initially. Watley gets to it. Drange a good approach, and she goes off the block and flies it out of bounds.
Drange has had a nice little step up here, coming back into the lineup, just being aggressive against the Titans block.
It's been a theme this week for the Tigers, other players stepping up. Lily Long had a nice stretch in the quarterfinals, and now Drange here in the semis. Kuhn goes over. I don't think she meant to do that. That's double contact.
Yes, it is.
The officials can call that if it goes over the net, not if it stays on the side of the net where the offensive team is. And that was an overset. I don't think she was trying to flip it over. She was trying to keep it on her side.
Yeah, I agree.
Good front set to Juergens as Kuhn gets back on track. Side out for Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
Well, a relief if you're the Tigers looking at Juergens going to the back row, because this is where she's been able to score, is down the line and through the block. But now Perlberg is in the front row for the Titans.
Back set to Pope. Overhand handle Juergens. Net violation called on Trinity.
Perlberg is just willing to swing at times where it seems like maybe since there's a block there, they're not going to try and swing as hard, but Perlberg does.
Perlberg in double figures, 10 kills. Double-digit kills now, 12 straight matches for Perlberg. First mistake here in set two for Reagan Watley, who's been awfully good so far in this set.
She has, and her defense is really what separated her in the backcourt, being able to handle the serve receive along with the defensive digs.
kill number 11 for Perlberg.
And Trinity is trying to find a way to stop Perlberg with their blocking, this time going out to the line, showing she has cross, but Perlberg using the block.
First team All-American pulls Wisconsin-Oshkosh within 3. It's served by Juergens. Swing out of the middle for Taylor Starr. Back row Juergens, sliding dig and controlled by Rodriguez. Watley cross court. Hannah's second one-handed dig. Perlberg the kill.
Hanasick has been an incredible libero for the Titans. The one-arm dig off of a touch of Watley's fierce outside.
There's no way that's a freshman. There's no way she's a freshman.
That's what makes her so special.
I don't believe it. She had massive shoes to fill taking over this year for Abby Ferdine, who was a 3-time All-American libero for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, and she has slipped in those shoes and played like an upperclassman throughout the year.
And those plays are what leads to sparks in teams for a little bit of motivation, but also momentum. And Julie Jenkins is aware of that, hence why she's calling a timeout.
Hannah Seck from Oak Creek in Wisconsin, team high 4.4 digs per set this year, and she's played well so far in these 2 days here in Bloomington. Good to have you with us. Adam Young alongside Laura Benton, the former star player here in town at Illinois State. This is day 2 of the national tournament. This is the semifinal round. Winner plays in the championship 2 days from now, with an off day mixed in tomorrow. Whoever it's going to be a much needed off day tomorrow to rest the legs and get ready for the national championship.
It's so nice that the NCAA gives that day for them to, one, be as a team, get to bond a little bit more, but also, as you mentioned, Adam, these teams have been going through a lot, and get that day of rest.
Wisconsin-Oshkosh has only played for a national title once. It was in 1994. And they did not win it. They never won a title. That never got over for Maren Motts. It's going to be 4 touches on Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
It's really important for the Tigers. We've seen the pin-to-pin action with their outside and right side hitters, but getting the middles involved. The Tigers like to have their middles involved, and that means they have to have good passing.
Perlberg terminates yet again.
And there just becomes a point with a hitter where you recognize she's just going to get her kills. And for Perlberg, that's it. She's, no matter where she's at, she's going to get her kills. So what can they do to maybe slow her down just a little?
Still has 1 year left of eligibility, only a junior. Overpass, tipped in Perlberg. Her easiest kill of the night.
When that serve receive passing is so crucial, especially when the setter's back row in a 6-2, which the Tigers run. 2 setters, both back row.
Incredible comeback so far for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. 14 kills for Perlberg. Tipped in by Pope for the right side.
A good side out for the Tigers. Anytime a team has the momentum, especially with Perlberg in the front row.
Rosie Dayer will serve for Trinity. The Tigers from San Antonio in Texas. They play in the Southern Athletic Association. 26-5 this year. Dayer's out of Houston, serves it to Perlberg. Backside for Motts, who thunders in a kill. She's only a freshman.
We've seen some monster hits from Perlberg, but Motts on the right side, leaving absolutely just a hole in the floor.
Wisconsin-Oshkosh back within 1. Dukavich will serve, serves it near line to Rodriguez. In the middle for McCarthy, who tips it off the block and down.
That's part of that offense that the Tigers need, getting the middles involved. McCarthy, normally noticed for her blocking yesterday. Team had 8 blocks. She had 3 of them.
No serve for Reagan Watley. 46th service error this year, the most on Trinity. Wisconsin-Oshkosh won by 13 in set 1. Rodriguez on serve receive. Right side for McWilliams. Wisconsin-Oshkosh keeps it up and gets it over. Dayer in the middle for McCarthy. Out of the reach of Panasek.
With that hit, you can see why the Tigers need to keep the middles involved. Nice one-on-one hit.
McCarthy really stepping up big for Trinity today. The junior from Corrales, New Mexico, 5'11", serves it to Panasek. Juergens over the blockers, and McCarthy couldn't quite get there.
Grace Juergens, this outside production has just been unreal today for the Titans.
When Wisconsin-Oshkosh went on a deep run earlier, it was Panasek serving. This time she put some heat on it. A lot of short serves earlier. Sent across by Drain. Juergens rolls it. Back row, Watley. Trinity by 2.
That was a really good decision to go to the back row. The Titans causing some disruption in the middle of the court with the tip over the net, and just Watley was there and prepared.
It was also pivotal, too, for Trinity to get Panasek off the service line.
That's right, that one rotation.
Trinity, the first to 20, trying to tie up the match at 1-1. Barrowman from the middle. She drops it in, her first kill in set 2 after 3 in set 1.
Barrowman's really springy when you watch her. She's known for her blocking, but when she gets in front of the setter to hit, she's super springy, gets along the net, and can put a kill down.
Kuhn had a couple of aces in the quarterfinal. Serves to Rodriguez, who gathered. Slide play and a low swing for Taylor Starr.
These are big points now that we are to that red zone, 2020. So perfect volleyball here for both teams, working on defending the serve for the Titans.
Eris Vera comes in for the first time this week for Trinity. We are tied for the first time since it was 7-7. Range attacks, Panasek gets there. Perlberg, dug out by D. Ravel. Barrowman has to play it after it was resting on the net. Tip by Juergens, Drange gets there. Pope goes off the head. Marin Mott in the middle. Couldn't get the hands up quick enough.
Such a good decision to go with Pope on the right side. There was a lot of chaos occurring on the Tigers side of the court. Just go with the steady hitter with Pope on the right. As you mentioned, Vera's in the front row in the middle, so this is a little new to her in the middle of this game.
Vera, the solo stuff for Trinity.
But not that new, Adam. Coming in with the solo block. Being patient, stays right in front of Motts.
San Antonio native puts Trinity up 2. Barrowman on the slide. Side out, Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
And Barrowman normally is a middle that's going to stay in front of the setter, this time with that slide, adding a little bit of a trick play for the Titans.
Trinity once led in this set by 6 when they led 13-7. Backside to Pope, has to reach back to grab it. Perlberg. Out of bounds is Kuhn. Made a good decision near her bench, and I think John Ellman was communicating with her.
Yeah, she was. That was really close to landing inside of the Titan territory.
The last lead for Wisconsin-Oshkosh was 2-1 in this set. They're tied up at 22. Watley tools the block. She won't allow it. Trinity up 1.
And that was a really good side out for the Tigers because that serve was dangerous. The Tigers were struggling a little to be able to get a perfect pass off of that serve.
Jenna Rodriguez, the libero, serves it. Panasek peels behind Juergens. Tool and a block is Marin Motz. Tied up again at 23.
For the Tigers, having Watley on the outside, the senior being comfortable, probably going to be targeted along with Rodriguez for this serve.
And with set 2 tied up again for the 7th time, Julie Jenkins calls a timeout. So now both head coaches out of timeouts. This is what we thought it would be, right? Set 1 was lopsided. We did not expect that. This is what we thought it would be, just like this, where it's kind of been back and forth here in set 2.
You're right, and the other piece of this is the serving has been really aggressive from the Titans. They're putting the Tigers a little bit pushed back and being able to get perfect passes, which their offense, with being middle heavy, needs to have good passes.
It's been a resilient week for Trinity. It's been just 2 matches, but you go back to yesterday, and I mean, they really had a battle in that 5th set to even make it here. Colby had match point a couple of times, and Trinity just kept on fighting and clawing their way back. And they're going to have to do that again. They trail 1-0 in the match. And set 2 is absolutely up for grabs at 23-23. Julie Jenkins in her 41st season, trying to get back to the championship for the 3rd time in her coaching career. Barrowman serving, had 2 aces in the quarterfinals. Clips the tape, Rodriguez somehow gets there. Watley out of system, and it's in for Reagan Watley. I don't think John Ellman will challenge. It was right on top of that back line.
It was. Just a little bit further, it definitely would have been out. It clipped the line at the end, but it was enough for Watley to get that side out. And now Trinity is looking at set point.
An unbelievable job on serve receive by Rodriguez to get to that serve from Barrowman. Set point for Trinity, trying to tie up the match. The serve from Dayer. It goes to Juergens. Perlberg off the chest of Rodriguez, who controls it. Watley denied. Greer alongside the freshman Marin Motz.
That was a tough swing for Watley to try and handle super close, but good job by the Titans to press over and make sure their hands were not going to get used off of Watley.
We need to win by 2, so we will have extra points here in set 2. Good serve by Jacqueline Dukavich. Watley goes cross court and in.
When Reagan Watley was a freshman and in the semifinals, that is not a swing Reagan Watley would have made. She just has evolved so much as a hitter, being aggressive and going to the middle of the court.
Perlberg cross court off the chest of Rodriguez again. Lanik will have to swing. Dukavich to Perlberg, down the near line and in.
Now Perlberg going to the service line for the Titans, but keep in mind, Juergens now in the front row, and she's been able to produce outside.
25-25 in set 2. Perlberg has her serve shanked away by Watley. Slapped over by McWilliams. Greer out of the middle, cuts it in. Set point, Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
Wow, everything has been mainly to the outsides. We expected them to get it, but now in the middle, Greer.
The first lead since it was 2-1. What a set win this would be if they can find a way. Turned away by Lauren Greer. Wisconsin-Oshkosh storms all the way back in set 2.
2 major points for Lauren Greer. She had the kill with the transition, and then with the monster block to end that set. take a look of just that block. She was so patient. Greer coming off of that transition, she knew where that ball was going. She was ready to win.
Wow. Wisconsin-Oshkosh, when it seemed like there wasn't a way, they found a way. And they have now won 17 consecutive sets. They trailed 13-7. They just kind of chipped away and chipped away. They tied it numerous times before finally winning by 2, 27-25. Wisconsin-Oshkosh head coach John Ellman with us. Coach, how do you describe the start by your team in these first 2 sets?
Exciting, you know, like this is semifinal championship volleyball, and this gym is amazing. There's a ton of energy. Both teams are, making some really fun plays. So just stoked to be in this position, up 2-0 here. But Trinity is turning it on. So I'm excited to see what is unfolding here as we move forward.
And Coach, is there any one player that you're really impressed with her performance so far?
Not one. It's a combination of many at different times, and so I think our setters have done a good job of getting our back half going. I think everybody knows that we're going to have some distribution to our outsides, and so what we've seen from our middles and oppos, we really like. Defensively, when they were trying to rip inside of the block for a while, seeing our libero Callie just scooping a couple back there was nice, but it's what we like is that any time anybody can do their job and make some really big plays in big moments. And so to have our middles get a good block there at the end and play good in trans when maybe we weren't hitting at the greatest clip throughout the match is also pretty fun for us.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Wisconsin-Oshkosh has swept 5 of their previous 6 matches, and now they try to sweep their way to the finals. Looking for their first championship appearance since 1994. They lead 2-0 here in Bloomington. We're back with Trinity head coach Julie Jenkins. Coach, moments ago in that team huddle, what was your message to your squad?
Basically that we've got to take care of our side of the net. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We had our opportunities at the end of that game, and unfortunately made some unforced errors on our side of the net. We've got to keep our offense from off the net, and made it pretty easy for Oshkosh to close out that set. We made some good adjustments in this second game that gave us opportunities to close out that set. Now we need to seal the deal and get it going in this third set. Oshkosh is on fire. We're starting to make the turn and change the momentum. I think this is going to be an exciting third set.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Trinity trying to get back on track here, starting with set 3. Perlberg, 16 kills. Watley only 7, but all 7, Laura, came in set 2.
They did, and you look at where that happened was the passing was better for the Tigers. And Samantha Perlberg, there's just not an answer for her right now. 8 kills each set. She's been unstoppable.
For the week in these 2 matches, Perlberg is averaging 7.8 kills per set and hitting .449 in these 2 matches. 39 kills, 8 attack errors. She has swung 69 times in the 2 matches. And I don't want to say she's putting the team on her shoulders, because other players are also contributing right now for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, but she's been the go-to player, and Trinity turns her away to start set number 3.
And that might seem like a small point for Trinity now, but that's a huge gain as far as momentum coming off of that tight second set and being able to stop the big hitter.
Barrowman trying to push it over, blocked away by Trinity. Perlberg almost slipped. Pope from the right antenna, and that sneaks in. It touched the back line for Courtney Pope.
I think we're going to see our first challenge here from John Ellman on whether or not that ball was in or out on the baseline of Pope's hit.
Replay official Betsy Smith will take a peek. Julie Jenkins lost a challenge earlier, and as Laura mentioned, John Ellman using his first challenge here today.
And Pope did swing this back corner if the ball touches any part of the line, it's considered in. So what's going to be important when they're looking at this is, did any part of that ball scrape that line? Looking at the shadow, it almost, at first glance, looks like it hit right on the line. This court is so beautiful, it's pretty easy to determine what is in and out with the striping.
It's close. Needs to be enough evidence to change the call on the floor. The call on the floor is in. Replay official Betsy Smith, up official Henry Chen, down official Gretchen Galloway. Officials have been outstanding all week here in Bloomington. It's also a great stage for them to be on here in the national semifinal as well. If this call holds, a nice start for Trinity, but they also had a nice start in set 2 when they led 13-7. And Wisconsin-Oshkosh found a way to win it 27-25. The call is in from Betsy Smith. Down official Gretchen Galloway will relay it to the scorer's table before giving us the final answer.
Looking at the stats before this call, you talked about the hitting of Trinity and having that lead at .085 for that second set. Oh, it's out.
Ball is overturned. John Ellman wins the challenge.
And John Ellman needs to thank the fans over here across the way. They were the ones telling him to challenge, not so much his team. They were the loud ones.
I think there's a couple of fans taking full credit for that challenge right now too, Laura.
Yes, they are.
Wisconsin-Oshkosh has traveled well. Not too far from home this week. Trying to make it feel like a home match. Sent over by Greer. Rodriguez will push it back corner. Juergens gets there. Tip by Greer to the 10-foot line to Pope. Greer almost had a block, and then pushed in aggressively by Vera, who's making an impact off the bench.
Yeah, Vera coming in that second set with a solo block and her first point in. Now adding some offense to that middle transition. Good heads-up play just to recognize everything was happening early in the 10-foot and be able to send it deep.
Rising up Perlberg. Sliding dig for Lanik. Hanasek grabs it. Back to Perlberg. Rodriguez shoots it over. Kuhn has to play it along the near line. Bump set back to Perlberg. She chooses a tip this time. Watley turned away. Maren Motz, the freshman, again near antenna.
We have some really impressive freshmen in this matchup, and Motz being one of them, with the blocking along the net, the middle, pressing back over.
That's the 5th block for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. They are 10th in the country in blocks per set, 2.4 this year. This week we had 4 of the top 10 blocking teams at Division III in the quarterfinals. And that's a low swing for Claire McInerney, freshman from North Aurora, Illinois. Her first action this week.
Just looking at how many attempts that both of these teams have had. Wisconsin-Oshkosh over 87 attempts at the end of set 2, and Trinity with 82. So there's just a lot of defense being played and multiple opportunities to hit the ball.
Slide play to Greer, and she finds the back line. Lauren Greer, the junior from Fond du Lac in Wisconsin.
Greer, not normally a slide hitter, but doing a really nice job of beating the block of Watley.
Sliding handle for Rodriguez on serve receive, and Watley wiggles the antenna.
McHenry right there. Motz, they're definitely putting up a sizable block and being able to cause some frustration for Watley trying to swing.
Wet spot on the floor near the Trinity bench, so Rodriguez will take care of it. This has been impressive for Wisconsin-Oshkosh, trying to sweep again. They have swept 24 of their 32 wins this year. They've swept 5 of their previous 6 matches coming in. Tumbling handle for Lanik. Watley rolls it to Juergens. Greer in the middle, 3 blockers there. It was Watley who got hands on it.
It was interesting to see that the Tigers, understanding how much they needed to stop Greer, they went with 3 blockers, which opens up the opportunity for a tip, but they took care of business with the block.
Janasek backs up the block. Another swing for Juergens, who buries it back left corner.
Juergens quiet up until now in this 3rd set, but once again going for that line, turning it back. That can be really hard defense to be able to stop.
Another great serve by Janasek, just clips the tape. Janasek with the bump set on the backside to Juergens, 2 in a row for the junior from nearby Lockport, Illinois.
And Janasek does such a nice job with those second opportunities, second hit ball. She was blind to that back set, and she was able to set her teammates up and head to break.
Adam Young, Laura Benton with you here in Bloomington, Illinois, inside the Shirk Center on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan. The 5th semifinal appearance in program history for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. They lead this match 2-0. They also lead here in the 3rd by 1. Side out for Trinity. As the Tigers, best case scenario, looking for a reverse sweep today.
If the Tigers are able to keep McCarthy involved, even though she just went out in the middle, there's an opportunity for that.
Right side, McInerney. Low attack for her, and Trinity ties it up.
Quick timeout and adjustments that Julie was able to get her team to do have worked out well so far in these first 2 points back from timeout.
Juergens picking up right where she left off before the timeout.
Juergens going for that left deep corner, and that corner is hard to defend. A lot of times when Juergens has that sharp cross court, just past the left back defense.
This Wisconsin-Oshkosh team, for the most part, led by their junior class. Perlberg, a junior. Juergens, a junior. Lauren Greer, a junior. Perlberg tips it in the net out of the back row. So I hope the rest of the country understands that the bulk of this team comes back next year as well.
Yeah, they're going to be a fierce team looking into 2026.
Concentration there from Maren Motz. Juergens, lunging dig by Watley. Shot over by Perlberg, and the point goes to Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Vera couldn't keep it in. Juergens will serve. Serves it to Watley. In the middle for Pope. And Pope sends it wide left.
The Trinity Tigers trying to get some of that middle offense. They saw it with McCarthy. Now Pope going in for the middle attack. Just missing it.
Watley will tip out of the back row. Kuhn sets up Perlberg. Wisconsin-Oshkosh with a 3-point advantage in the 3rd.
It's always smart to go down the line, take the setter out of the first contact, and being able to try and dig Perlberg right now is a tough task at hand.
Her 17th kill tonight. Her 40th in 2 matches this week. Lily Long comes in for Trinity, replaces Pope. Great serve by Jurgens. Good pass as well, Rodriguez. Cross-court swing goes to Panasek. Perlberg dug out by Watley. Kuhn got hands on it. Mott saves it. Perlberg's gonna swing, and she hammers it in. Holy cow!
This place just erupted with that kill. That was absolutely amazing. Perlberg being able to have the confidence after a one-handed dig. Absolutely stunning performance.
That's as good as it gets. Give the assist to Maren Motts. I couldn't believe Perlberg was swinging at that. Wisconsin-Oshkosh trying to keep the momentum. Panasek. Perlberg. Rodriguez controls it. Drange attacks right to Panasek. Mott from the right side. Rodriguez can't handle.
This is a piece where it's going to be important for Julie to try and stop that momentum, because this place, after that one play was loud, now 2 plays in a row. It's unreal.
5-0 run for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. And in big moments, it kind of feels like a home match at times for them.
It does, and the one-handed dig that led to being able for Motts to swing on the right side.
We've seen some really good outside hitters this week. Perlberg certainly in that discussion. We're going to see Maya Ray later on, the National Player of the Year. What a job Perlberg has done.
And yesterday when she hit 463, it's pretty easy. I say easy, but it seems like it's more likely to happen in a 3-set sweep. But the fact that this performance tonight, and just see how consistent she is and playing at a high level.
Julie Jenkins and Trinity out of timeouts. 12-7 Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Trinity had chances to win set 2 and tie up the match. Couldn't hang on. They led by 6 at one point in set 2. Wisconsin-Oshkosh stormed all the way back. Went up 2-0. And they put themselves in a very nice position here in set 3. They have not lost a set the entire NCAA tournament going back to the regionals. In the middle for Barrowman. She gets a touch.
Well, they're going to say Lily Long touched that ball on the outside. Just getting ready to comment that Lily Long is in the game. We saw her in the first set, had some hitting struggles, now back in this 3rd set.
Another change for Trinity as Taylor Starr comes back in, replaces Eris Vera. Starr gets a swing right away, and Jurgens is hustling towards it, but couldn't quite grab it, so Taylor Starr comes in and immediately makes an impact.
And for the Trinity Tigers, as loud as this place got, an ability to just side out quickly, kind of put the Titans at bay for a little bit.
Panasek gathers. Perlberg rises up and destroys it.
Perlberg really has brought havoc to the Tigers defense and trying to stop her. We saw the line taking the setter out from Trinity the first time. Now cross court with this battle with Rodriguez.
The serve from Riley Barrowman. Scrapes the tape to Rodriguez. Dump play. Perfect spot for that for Kendall DeRavel.
And DeRavel has done a nice job tonight running this offense, but great decision. She has to be careful. Back row, anytime a setter dumps from the Tigers, she's back row, so she can't jump too high or it will be a back row attack.
Kuhn to the middle for Greer. Not much to do with it. Rodriguez couldn't keep it up. Greer's going to get a kill. Rodriguez slow to get up.
Yeah, she's walking off. It looks like when she was underneath the net there a little.
(15-9) Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Rodriguez controls it. T. Ravel, left side for Watley. Diving dig Panasek. Cross court to Rodriguez. Pushed over by McCarthy. McInerney with the attack. Watley goes off the block and down.
Reagan Watley yesterday with her 21 kills, this time doing what her team needs in the tight spot with trying to make that adjustment. The set wasn't necessarily off the net, it was a little tight. She does a nice job using the hands.
That's the 8th kill for Watley, all 8 coming since the start of set 2. Did not record a kill in set 1 today. Nearly 1,100 career kills for the senior out of the Woodlands in Texas. Bump set by Dukavich. Perlberg sitting on 18 kills right now. Watley sends home another. 2 in a row for Reagan Watley.
Yesterday, Reagan Watley really taking her team on her shoulders, just picking up kill after kill. And for the Tigers to make a change, they're going to need Reagan Watley doing the same.
Slide play to Greer, read well by Trinity. Had 2 blockers there. Watley got hands on it. McCarthy was next to her.
And that's a good call out. Trinity saw that slide coming, a lot of commotion over on the right side of the net. Did a really nice job setting up the block. These small changes are what we're seeing, those points being able to be added by Trinity.
Greer with the push. Rodriguez dives to grab it. Watley cross court, controlled by Panasek. Off speed from Jurgens out of the back row. Back set Rodriguez. Watley gets a touch.
This is a big rotation for Watley, being able to be in the front row and start leading her team to a little bit of a comeback against this Oshkosh team that's really, really good.
First of 2 semifinal matches tonight. This is a 4-0 run now for Trinity to pull within 2. One more match coming up later. 8th seed Berry, fresh off that major upset against undefeated East Texas Baptist. They will match up with the National Player of the Year, Maya Ray, and the Laverne Leopards. The 4th seed out of the Los Angeles area, about 30 miles east of LA. So that'll be a fun one coming up at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central is the scheduled start time from the Shirk Center.
Excited to see that Berry-Laverne matchup. You talk about dynamics of the teams. Berry is very free-spirited. They come out with just such great cheer about them when they warm up. You look at Laverne, they're very serious, and they have a spectacular player, Maya Ray, that was fun to watch as well.
A neat storyline for the Southern Athletic Association. They have 2 schools left here in the Final 4. Berry, they play in the Southern Athletic Association, and Trinity also plays in the same conference, so 2 schools from that league here in the semifinals. Laverne and Wisconsin-Oshkosh, by the way, they played a 5-set thriller during the regular season. Laverne won that in 5 sets. Greer deposits for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. They lead by 3.
Oshkosh Titans really showing off with their good passing and being able to run the middles and pretty much anywhere that attention along the front row.
Watley buries it inside the block. Greer was trying to get hands on it, and Watley had just enough.
Watley making the time that she was in the front row impactful. She got her points, she did what her role was, and swinging away on the left side.
Panasek, rare mistake. She's been money today on serve receive and tilt right there.
And oftentimes teams will not target the libero just because they're normally your best passer.
This time Juergens will go in front of Panasek. Overpass swing for McInerney. And McInerney gets the kill, her first of the tournament.
Watley knowing she's back there on defense, and it was a great dig just a little bit over the net, leading to McInerney's kill.
Another great serve by Panasek. These are hard to handle. Deep swing for Trange. No touch.
You're right, these serves have just been spectacular as far as the float serve. There's a lot of movement on that float serve.
Almost the fourth ace today for Panasek, which would match her season high. She has a bump set, go to Juergens. Wisconsin-Oshkosh ahead by 4.
The serve is so tough, and it creates this free ball over and just allowing the Titans the point.
Shorter serve this time for Panasek to Rodriguez. McCarthy, Panasek couldn't quite get there. And McCarthy gets a side out for Trinity.
McCarthy has been kind of that shining star in the middle for the Tigers when Watley's back row being able to produce some of that offense that the Tigers are looking for.
Gathered by Perlberg, steered towards Juergens. Out of bounds, no touch.
Juergens last time going for that cross court in between the libero Rodriguez and Watley, changing it up to the line.
The pass on serve received by Juergens, who gets it back from DeCavich. Off speed with that one for Grace Juergens.
Those 3 points, you can tell how she operates. Goes to the line, goes cross court, then the nice rollover.
Double figures and kills with 10 today for Juergens. Honorable mention All-American. Wisconsin-Oshkosh, the first to 20. McWilliams to the right side, punched over by Motts. Panasek the dig. Kuhn sets up Juergens, who uses the block.
One of those players that's been so impressive today is Panasek, just watching her dig and create these opportunities for Juergens to be on the outside.
That's an ace. Izzy Kuhn, her 3rd ace of the week.
The serving continues to just show how strong the Oshkosh Titans really are in their serving game. Serve and receive, too. You talk about how well they've passed and been able to run their offense.
Short serve by Kuhn. That was really short. Vera got to it. Blocked away by Barrelman and Juergens.
Oshkosh Titans are feeling it now with Barrowman with this block, and Juergens joining her on the outside. That was all Barrowman.
Julie Jenkins out of timeouts. Can't stop the run. Kuhn almost aces. Ott's got a hand on it. Somehow free balled over by Kuhn. That's in play. Barrowman, she drops it in. Match point Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
What a play for the Titans, all the way to the stands. Once again, they have been able to make so much out of nothing in this game.
These scramble plays have been remarkable. Drange off the block and down, out of the reach of Juergens. Trinity stays alive for now. Now it's up to the junior out of Westlake Village, California, Kendall D. Ravel, who will serve for the Tigers. Serve receive, Juergens. Kuhn, back row, Perlberg, and her swing is low.
The Tigers paying attention off of that serve receive. Where are they going to line up the block? Who makes sense to get this ball? Juergens on the outside, Barrowman in the middle.
Juergens attacks. Rodriguez gets to it. Overpass kill. Riley Barrowman. For the first time since 1994, Wisconsin-Oshkosh will play for a national title.
We saw the sweep yesterday and another sweep today, and Oshkosh just on the roll with high-powered offense, and their defense is literally unstoppable today.
Laura, they look good in the quarterfinals. They looked even better today.
They really did. Their offense was just rolling, but what really stood out was their defense. The one-arm saves, the scrambles, and they just kept producing with that offense, and it's a really well-played game. You have to give a hand to the Trinity Tigers. They had a tough task going against these Titans, and at times they looked like they were unstoppable as well. And what a wonderful season that the Trinity Tigers had.
It will be the second championship match appearance in program history for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Lost in the national title in 1994 in Ithaca against WashU St. Louis. That was part of WashU's run of 6 straight national titles from 1991 through 1996. And Wisconsin-Oshkosh will have a shot in 2 days at their first ever national title. And they've only played 6 sets so far this week, so they'll get the off day tomorrow, but some other teams probably would have needed that off day more than Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
And that's a good point. Whoever they end up playing, whether it's Barry or Laverne, will be interesting to see how much that rest comes into play in that championship match.
They have now won 18 straight sets, and they will wait for their opponent. It will either be Barry or a rematch from the regular season with Laverne. Once again, Laverne and Wisconsin-Oshkosh played during the regular season. It was a 5-set match, and Laverne won it in 5 sets. So we could get a rematch, but Barry might have something else to say about that coming up in right around an hour. So our second semifinal later on tonight, Barry and Laverne. We are on time, so that will begin at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We'll talk to you then. Wisconsin-Oshkosh sweeps their way to the finals. For our producer, Andrea Crawford, Laura Benton, my partner, Adam Young, saying so long for just a little while from the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois.